Sinbad's Journey, a tale of adventure, family, and legacy.
After months at sea, Sinbad's ship finally docked in the familiar bustling port of Basra. The city, vibrant with its thriving trade and culture, seemed to echo the adventurer's joy at being home. News of Sinbad's return spread quickly, and a crowd gathered to welcome the legendary mariner. Among them was Elora, his beloved wife, whose heart leaped at the sight of him. After 1 year of separation, she could hardly contain her emotions as she rushed forward, embracing Sinbad with tears of relief and happiness. Over a quiet dinner that evening in their grand mansion, Elora shared her fears during his prolonged absence. "I was deeply worried, my love," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. "When you did not return as expected, I feared the worst. I could not bear the thought of losing you, so I sent a ship to search for you. They returned with no word, and my heart grew heavier with every passing month." Sinbad took her hands gently in his own. "I am sorry for the worry I caused you, Elora," he said earnestly. "The journey was fraught with challenges I could not have anticipated. But I never stopped thinking of you and our family, and it was the thought of returning to you that kept me going." That night, Sinbad recounted his extraordinary third voyage in vivid detail. He spoke of the perilous magnetic mountain that pulled ships apart and the old man of the sea, whose cunning enslavement he had narrowly escaped. He shared how he and his crew had stumbled upon the town of Vigo seeds and how his ingenuity transformed the trade there, empowering the villagers and creating a profitable enterprise. Elora listened intently, her worry giving way to awe as she marveled at her husband's courage and resourcefulness. "You are truly remarkable," she said, her voice filled with pride. "But I pray you will not put yourself in such danger again." Sinbad chuckled softly. "The sea calls to me, my love, but so does the promise I made to you and our family. I will always return." Back in Basra, Sinbad embraced his roles as a husband, father, and businessman with equal passion. His son, Zayden, was growing fast, and Sinbad relished the moments spent with the son, teaching him about the wonders of the world and the importance of courage and fairness. Sinbad also turned his focus to securing the future of the Vigo enterprise. Over the next few months, he worked tirelessly to set up a robust trade network. He dispatched 5 fully loaded merchant ships to Carson Town, the heart of the Vigo trade located in the Aztec Kingdom, ensuring they carried the promised money to settle all debts with 10% interest. In addition to settling debts, the funds allowed Hakim to purchase new Vigo seeds from local farmers. Sinbad appointed skilled overseers to manage the operations and ensure that the enterprise ran smoothly in his absence. Recognizing the immense potential of the Vigo seed trade, Sinbad dedicated 20 ships entirely to the enterprise. 10 ships would travel regularly between Basra and Carson Town, maintaining the steady flow of Vigo seeds to Basra's markets. These ships would also carry the finances needed to buy new seeds and support the local economy in Carson Town every 6 months. The remaining 10 ships were assigned to expand Vigo seed distribution across Europa and the Albia Caliphate, leveraging Sinbad's knowledge of international trade to maximize profits. Sinbad meticulously planned the shipping routes, ensuring efficient and secure transport of goods. He instructed his overseers to handle every detail with integrity and precision, knowing that the enterprise's success depended on trust and reliability. The system Sinbad established was designed to be self-sustaining. Every 6 months, the ships traveling to Carson Town would carry not only payment for seeds but also resources and tools requested by Hakim to support local farmers. In return, they would bring back fresh stock to Basra and beyond, ensuring a continuous supply for the thriving Vigo markets. Sinbad's Vigo enterprise not only transformed trade but also created a continuous flow of high-demand goods between Aztec, Albia, Europa, and Basra. For an example, the ships bound for Europa and the Albia Caliphate would further amplify profits by trading Vigo seeds alongside other high-demand goods from Basra. On their return journeys, Sinbad's ships carried sought-after goods from Albia and Europa to Basra, maximizing profits and sustaining trade networks along the route. Sinbad's arrangement promised prosperity for everyone involved, from the villagers of Carson Town to the merchants of Basra, Europa, and Albia. In building his legacy, Sinbad ensured his trade empire not only thrived but also made a meaningful impact. From the profits generated by the Vigo trade, half of the profits were allocated to establish a trust in Carson Town to support the underprivileged and needy within the Aztec Kingdom. This trust provided resources, education, and healthcare to improve the lives of local villagers. 1/3 of the remaining profits were allocated to a trust established in Basra to support local welfare services and community development. Another 1/3 was dedicated to a trust in the Basil Kingdom, continuing Sinbad's commitment to uplifting the people of his adopted homeland. The remaining 1/3 was distributed to his family, ensuring their continued prosperity while supporting the trusts in both Basra and Basil. Through this approach, Sinbad's business became a powerful force for positive change, enriching lives and fostering growth across regions. Additionally, with his flourishing trade empire, Sinbad rose to become one of the top 10 richest men in the Albia Caliphate, solidifying his influence and legacy as a visionary merchant and philanthropist. One beautiful morning, Sinbad and Elora spent peaceful moments playing with their son, Zayden, by the shore. The sun set behind the horizon, casting a golden glow over the sea as they sat together. Elora looked down at Zayden, her expression thoughtful, and then turned to Sinbad. "How can people do harm by enslaving and killing others?" she asked softly. "Do they not fear God?" Sinbad held Elora's hand gently, his voice calm yet firm. "Enslaving people is the epitome of sin," he replied. "It directly opposes God, whose very presence symbolizes freedom. Every soul deserves to live freely, and those who seek to control others are defying the very essence of divine justice." Elora nodded thoughtfully, but her brow furrowed in concern. "I admire your father," Sinbad continued, "who fought against the neighboring empire to protect our people from the clutches of the Aroma Empire. They engage in sport, slave fights, a brutal coliseum where people are pitted against animals for entertainment. It's a blight on humanity, and we must stand against such tyranny." Zayden, sitting quietly beside them, looked up with wide eyes, his innocent gaze searching for understanding. Sinbad gently placed his hand on his son's shoulder. "You don't know it yet, my son," Sinbad said with a soft smile, "but the Redeemer of slaves hears you. He sees all who suffer and ensures justice is served. And one day, when the time is right, the world will witness who that Redeemer truly is." Elora watched with a proud and loving expression as Sinbad's words sank into their son's young mind. Though they couldn't yet comprehend the full impact, a quiet certainty lingered: Zayden's destiny would lead him to free the oppressed and bring an end to slavery. By the end of the year, Sinbad had firmly established a thriving trade empire that spanned continents. The Vigo enterprise was not just a business but a legacy, built on fairness, innovation, and the connections he had forged during his adventures. With the groundwork complete and his operations running smoothly, Sinbad turned his thoughts once again to the sea. The adventurer in him yearned for new challenges, and while he loved his family and his city, he knew that the world still held mysteries to uncover. As he prepared to leave, Elora stood by his side at the harbor, holding his hand tightly. "Promise me you'll return safely, Zayden, and I will be waiting," she said with a smile that hid her worry. "I promise," Sinbad replied, looking at his son, who was watching the ships with wide-eyed wonder. "And one day, perhaps Zayden will sail with me to see the wonders of the world." However, just as Sinbad was about to board his ship, Elora suddenly fell unconscious. Alarmed, Sinbad caught her before she hit the ground. He carried her back to their mansion, where a doctor was summoned immediately. After an examination, the doctor smiled reassuringly. "Congratulations, Sinbad. Elora is pregnant." Relief and joy flooded Sinbad's face as he looked at Elora, who had regained consciousness. The couple shared a heartfelt moment, thrilled at the news of their growing family. Sinbad initially decided to delay his voyage, unwilling to leave Elora during such an important time. But Elora, ever practical and supportive, insisted he follow through with his plans. "The crew depends on you," she said gently. "A lot of money has already been invested, and your absence would jeopardize everything. I'll be fine, and I'll be waiting for you when you return." With a heavy heart and a deep burden of love and duty, Sinbad reluctantly agreed. He held Elora close, promising, "I'll return as quickly as I can. Take care of yourself and Zayden, and our new child." As Sinbad departed, sadness clouded his face, but he carried the hope of a quick return, knowing his family and growing legacy awaited him.
Sinbad's adventure is far from over. As he sets sail toward uncharted waters, a new mystery awaits. What challenges will the legendary mariner face next? Don't miss the next thrilling episode of Sinbad. Like, comment, and share your thoughts on this incredible journey. Subscribe now and hit the notification bell to follow Sinbad's adventures and uncover the secrets that lie ahead. Until next time, adventurers, may your sails be strong and your hearts be brave. See you on the next voyage.